Honestly, I did not expect this from him. But if you don't know who this is Tnickelss, who was a Twitch streamer who originally blew up from his TikTok clips, like Queso and Yusef. And he just got exposed to talking to a 16, 17-year-old while he was 20, 21. And some of the stuff that he said in these chats were eye-opening. Because I remember scrolling through TikTok, seeing some of his clips while he was at 50k on TikTok, and he turned streaming into an actual career and he became successful. In the span of like a year to 2 years, he's now at 300k followers on Twitch, 500 on YouTube, and 2.4 million followers on TikTok. All of that for him to just throw it all away because of what he did. And how he got exposed was that B, the person he was messaging, sent screenshots and videos of the messages between them to a mod on his Discord server. I think he then made an announcement on the actual server on what Tnickelss was doing, showed the video, showed everything, and those videos came on TikTok and even more people saw it. And ultimately, Tnickelss had to delete the entire Discord server, which I think had about 160,000 people in it. Let's get to the video and see what's against him. The video is about 6 minutes long, and there are 6 segments. I'll talk about each segment at the end of it, and really I'll only just talk about the first 5 because 6 there's really nothing much to it.
I was groomed by 21-year-old streamer named Tnickelss, with video proof, pedo and sexual content ahead. For context, I am 17 years old and Tnickelss, Tyler, is 21. His birthday is March 2nd. The sexual thoughts he had about me started before the grooming. As Tyler once told me, he always felt sexual tension between us. Tyler has known me and been fully aware of my age since I was 16. Because I was a Twitch mod for him since February 2023. Before I was a mod, I was a huge fan of his, and we became friends after he chose me as a mod. As a minor, I'd like to keep my privacy, and also in case I get accused of doing this for attention, so I'll go by B. I will also quickly talk about other bad things he said and did besides grooming me.
So, within the first minute and section, he knows that he's talking to a 16-year-old and he's 20, but the whole thing happened when he was 17, or she was 17 and he was 21. She's a minor and he's an adult. I've seen people argue that she's above the age of consent, so it's fine, but, you know, she's still considered a minor. In Michigan, where Tnickelss is from, the age of consent is 17, but you're not considered an adult until you're 18. So all the stuff he's been doing, he's aware that he's doing it with a minor, and she hasn't even shown the worst part of the messages yet. Also, what's with content creators starting from nothing, building a community, only to become a groomer or pedo? Because you gained money, you gained fame, can you not just find someone your own age, or, you know, an adult? Because he's 21. The minimum age that he should be dating is 19, not 17, and he shouldn't have sexual tensions with a minor.
The grooming started in early September 2023 when me and Tyler were playing a Roblox gambling game called Crash. When talking about the game, he said he kept pulling out early and I joked that I wouldn't pull out of him. He then said, "Oh, but if I were to say that, I'd be wrong." Here is proof of him mentioning when he said that. I thought it was okay, which I will explain next, and just jokes, so I told him I don't mind. That's when sexual jokes between us started, and either that night or another night. It's difficult to remember exactly when. We had finished playing Roblox late at night and we were just in our beds. Since we had made sexual jokes, it led to him coercing me into masturbating on call while he told me how he wanted me to do it. After that night, we had sex, masturbating together on a call, a total of 7 more times after that, all of those times being nowhere near me turning 18. I'm still 17. Here is proof. We would call each time we had sex as rounds. Tyler also tried to make actual plans to fly me out. Here are the 2 videos that best show proof of his pedophilia. All my videos of proof have no edits or cuts, and I show that it's his account. You can't link a Twitch account to Discord if you don't have the login.
Look, I'm not trying to victim blame, but I'm just wondering, why she made the sexual jokes in the first place. Because from what I've seen from, the slides, which we'll go through later in the video, is that she wanted to pursue a relationship with T. She made sexual jokes, and he responded with, if I said that, it would be bad. Well, yes, you're an adult, and she's a minor. And if she is saying, sexual stuff or making sexual jokes to you, you probably should block her instead of saying, but if I said it. That's not a good response to it. Even in the first place, you probably shouldn't be talking to a minor through one-on-one messaging, especially someone that has been groomed before. Later in the video, it's revealed that she was groomed when she was 15. And in T's video, he reveals that B was groomed by one of T's ex-mod. Not sure if it was the same one as when she was 15, same case, or if she was groomed another time when she was 15. But honestly, the guy's a creep. He got a girl who's a minor to do stuff for him over call while he did his own stuff. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, wouldn't that technically be considered CP since he's a minor over video call doing stuff for him? And he wanted to fly her out after she graduated. Depending on her birthday, he was willing to do stuff while she would have still been a minor.
On March 11, 2024, I realized that he had been grooming me online since September 2023. I realized it when I was watching old Tyler Twitch clips from a few months ago, and at the end of one, Tyler tells a 17-year-old female viewer to not flirt with him in his chat because of her age. I then thought about how I'm 17 and he still did all those sexual activities with me. After I thought about it a lot, everything hit me at once. I broke down in tears and I was shaking all day. Before anyone jumps to victim blaming, I didn't realize he was grooming me at first because 1. I used to be a fan of his, so I thought it was desirable, even as his friend, that someone who was popular online wanted to do sexual activities with me. 2. I had been groomed online before at 15. Grooming victims are led to believe that large age gaps are desirable and normal because of trauma. 3. Tyler made me promise multiple times to keep what we had as a secret, which I thought was because I was his mod, so I never told anybody. I would tell him that I'd never change on him, as in I'd never randomly stop being sexual with him.
So how she realized that she was being groomed was that she saw an old clip of T telling a girl not to flirt with him because of her age being 17. So on public, Teen Tickler can't talk to underage girls, but he's fine with flying them out and asking them to do sexual favors over call. And he also made her promise to keep quiet about their messages or she'll die. Who says that? Hey, I know I'm not supposed to talk to you because of the nature of our conversation and you being a minor, but if you tell anyone, you'll die. This guy has a few screws loose.
Nobody could have helped me. Not only did he groom me, but he cheated on his ex-girlfriend with me while I didn't know they were still together. He also told me once that even if I had a little safe word if me and him were to have sex, it wouldn't work and he'd keep going anyway. He also said he was going to force his way into my privates. This couldn't be a CNC kink, because we never discussed either of us liking that. How can anyone desire to grape a minor? On top of that, he said that he wouldn't care if I was dead or not, he would still F me.
He cheated on his probably of-age girlfriend with someone underage, told him that he would force himself onto her, and even if she was dead, he would continue to do so. This guy is a sick human being, and I don't understand how people can even defend him. The only defense that I've seen people have is that it's only a 3 to 4 age gap, but she's still a minor. And it seems like the only reason why people are saying that is because she's 17. And 17 to people is kind of a gray zone. You're not an adult, you're also not a kid, but you're above the age of consent. But if the age gap was the exact same, but instead the ages were different, so instead of 21 and 17, it was 20 and 16, when everything happened, nobody would defend them. But even in the first place, it's not fine because the power dynamic they have. She even said herself in the video that she was a fan turned into a friend. And she thought that it was fine until like 2 or 3 weeks ago when she realized what was happening. She felt desirable from someone she held in high regard, and she didn't want to lose that desirability from him, which probably caused her to just do things whatever he asked for to do with her. Because on purpose or not, he used the power dynamic in his favor to make her do things. Because she probably felt like if she said no to anything of his demands, she would have been tossed aside and he would have found someone that would have been more than willing to do so, whatever she wouldn't be able to do.
Before anyone asks why I'm telling the internet instead of the police, it's because the ages of consent in mine and Tyler's states are under 18. I can't report him. I am not speaking up about him grooming me because I want attention, views, clout, etc. I didn't wait to speak up. I am speaking up because I don't want to protect a pedophile that took advantage of me. I hope this helps people who are in the same situation I was in case Tyler tries to make up anything bad about me instead of holding himself accountable. I'd like to state that I've never said a slur I can't say, been problematic, provided any false info here, and I will never change my mind about this situation. I'm sure Tyler will try to fake screenshots of me or post out of context screenshots of me. I'm showing my evidence in the context of him grooming me, so that it's not possible to be taken in any other way other than what it was in reality. Whatever he tries to say, nothing can change the fact that he groomed me. If you know someone going through the same thing, please help and support them. Thank you.
So the reason why she's speaking about it over the internet and not the police is that she really can't do much legally since she's above the age of consent. So she thought that it would be better just to expose him for who he is and destroy his reputation before it's too late for someone else, so that no one else falls victim under him. So now the slides. First thing about the slides is that, the first thing was a little bit of intro saying he's not a groomer. They were both above the age of consent. And to me, it kind of feels weird that he actually has to specify that both parties were over the age of consent. Because why couldn't he just find someone who's over the age of 18? He also said that he felt like he had to draw a line later on. But when even was later on? Because throughout the slides, throughout the videos, throughout the messages, I didn't see him draw a line once. He said that some of the stuff were out of context, which made it seem worse. First off, how is this out of context? And what even is the context behind it for you to write those messages? Because it seems like, with or without it, it's still bad. And he's not going to talk about it, or he didn't talk about it on the slides, and he blocked from talking about it during his response video, or video response. They started talking in June when he was 20, she was 17. They talked the game, they joked around, and there were some obvious jokes, but I didn't see any jokes. Slide 4 and 5 was just them talking. A main topic he had around the entire slides was that no one was forced. Slide 6, B started talking about dating, and he replied with, "We'll see." Slide 7 is the most interesting, because he said he was talking to another girl in the slides. B said in her video that she didn't know anyone about that, or didn't know anything about it, and she asked him if she was wifey material. Because an hour before she asked him if he was wifey material, they had this conversation. And then the rest of the slides were just B asking for a chance. She showed him everything, and she wanted to be desirable and in a relationship with him. But he knows that if he starts a relationship of, dating a minor, he'll be looked at like a pedo. But instead of giving a definitive answer to her, he just strang her along, said nothing for his own sexual pleasure. Here's my thought process. He can't say yes to dating her, because if it's revealed that he's dating a minor, people call him a groomer and a pedo. He can't say no, because, she might stop talking to him, stop with the favors, and reveal everything to the public. But he decided to say nothing, skip answering, which meant that, he continued talking to her, he kept getting favors, and nobody knew about it till she revealed what was happening. Slide 15 ends off with saying that he felt like both parties were okay with everything, and if he had a conversation or any slight indicator of her saying otherwise or anyone saying otherwise, he would have shut things down immediately. Then in that case, why didn't he just block her when things were not going in an okay direction? Because, there were times where B was making sexual remarks to him, but by him not blocking her at that time and talking to her about it, it showed him that he was fine with a minor being sexual with him. And he even responded to his own sexual stuff with his own sexual stuff. He even noticed a power dynamic, saying he didn't intend to use it, but either way, he used it every time. And then he just apologizes to everyone. So overall, out of all the chats and messages he used in the slides, he decided to put the only messages of when B was asking him out in a relationship and not the other stuff like this. He knows what he was doing, and he knew that if he shared contents of that part of the chat, he was done. So I'm guessing he tried to manipulate the people on his side by saying that she wanted the relationship, and here's him saying no, but still didn't block her at all when things were getting sexual. And arguably, it made things worse for him by not acknowledging what she said in the video. Now, his own video response. He woke up, saw the messages on his server, tried to get rid of the roles of the mods who posted that, the screenshots and any of the videos, but ultimately he had to delete the server. He made a Google slide to show that he wasn't hiding anything, but he didn't talk about the messages that happened on December 26th. He went live on Twitch, apologized. I seen a clip about it, and it was just people spamming pedo and groomer. His own mods started changing the stream titles and putting a groomer tag on his stream, and then his TikTok got banned because, there's probably like hundreds of thousands of people just reporting him after, everything got revealed. He talked about when they met, when that she was 17, he was 20, when she was groomed by his ex-mod, and that wasn't the first time that she got groomed. So at that point, if you count this time as grooming, that means she's been groomed 3 times. He thought that since she was already groomed twice, she knows what grooming looks like. So he thought that everything they talked about was actually genuine and not him just grooming her. He talked about the messages of December 26th, and he said that, in those messages, he wasn't talking to just himself. He also said that he's not going to talk about the chat or show the chat for privacy reasons. He showed the entire chat of the hurry up and graduate part. So apparently B was in college for nursing. He tells her that, to focus on schools or focus on her studies since they had different goals, him with streaming, her with school. And that he said that after she graduates and, has a bit of free time, then they can talk about flying her out. At the end, he said that he's not going to stream for a bit. And then he posted a reply to a post that someone made calling him out because he was in the video that, he was responding to his pedo grooming allegations. He was promoting his other socials in the description. So then he says he wants to be left alone, saying that his TikTok's banned, he lost 7,000 subs, 4K on Twitch, death threats, doxing, his source of income's gone. He understands that what he did is wrong and he admits to it, and he just wants people to let him be. So that's about it. If you like, then sub. If you sub, you might get another video.